Right. Yesterday, Roma against Udinese ended 1-0 to our glorious Giallorossi. It was a good, the most important thing from that match was to get the 3 points. And we can say that Roma did get the 3 needed points after a defeat to keep the rhythm of these great top clubs which are now speeding up to try and win this area, but especially to prepare the best way possible for possibly the most important match of the entire season on Sunday for Roma. It's the derby, it's Lazio against Roma. So, yes, the performance wasn't great yesterday, don't get me wrong, we'll talk about that in a sec. But what Roma needed the most yesterday were the 3 points. Because after a defeat, every single team, and this varies from Real Madrid to Sampdoria in this area, needs the 3 points after a defeat. So, hypothetically, Roma did get the needed thing, the 3 points. They're back in a Champions League spot to prepare the best way possible against Lazio, who are currently in a shitty position. They are not winning anymore. After that match against Milan, they lost in Turkey in the Europa League. They drew against Torino. They drew against Cagliari. It's not a good moment for Lazio, and Roma need to exploit this. Now, obviously, if we want to speak about the performance, it wasn't great at all, because I think Roma this season, in the first matches, and I'm talking about Fiorentina and Salernitana, have shown us that they have the potentials of scoring a lot. Now, it is true that Udinese yesterday was playing with 3 defenders, which were playing all 3 as centre-backs, but were basically building the Chinese wall in midfielder. They were playing with 5 midfielders. And obviously, it would have been, and it was hard for Roma to infiltrate and get into defense. So that is obviously a big reason of why I think Roma just scored 1 goal yesterday. But in my opinion, Roma have the potentials of scoring many, many more goals in every single match. And it'll be curious to see how many goals Roma will score on Sunday against their biggest rivals. Now, when it comes to performance, I think Roma were lucky yesterday when it comes to non-conceding. Obviously, it wasn't the greatest performance out there. You know, there was a match that Roma played at the start of the season against Fiorentina, which was better than yesterday's match. Salernitana was better than yesterday's match. And the 2 matches against Trabzonspor were better than yesterday's match. But that is something us Roma fans have to expect. You know, we can't see the same Roma turning up to matches every single time. We have to see variations. And if these variations will happen because some players are injured or some players are tired. And in fact, the main bracket for me is tiredness, because we can see that the players are tired. Now, especially Roma, which is playing the Europa Conference League. International duty were a few weeks ago. You know, matches after matches. They played yesterday, they're playing on Sunday, then they're playing back on Thursday. They're playing the next, it's a bunch, and it's a period full of matches for AS Roma. So I think Roma now have the derby against Lazio, and then they've got a match against Empoli, which hypothetically is an easy match. But no match is easy in this sport. And then we've got another international duties break. Now, that break can be positive for some players who don't get calls from their national teams to reassess and to reset with Jose Mourinho. But for the players which go and play for their national teams, as much as it's a prestige for them, it can really cause a lot of troubles for Roma, because after Empoli, Roma have Juventus, Napoli, and AC Milan, okay? It is going to be an October similar to hell. So, obviously, the players were tired, and yesterday in the live watch-along, I'm not sure if you guys came in the live watch-along, but yesterday, there were a few people criticizing Zaniolo, and I get it. You know, everyone sees Zaniolo as a big player, a talented player, and I get this. In fact, after yesterday's match, before going to bed, I spent 10 minutes reading some articles about Nicolo Zaniolo, and I have found out, and I spoke with my dad about this. Zaniolo is playing like this not because he's shit. me and my dad have found a reason after reading articles, and my dad is someone who listens to, the radio once in a while, he watches sport television, sport news, and many journalists said that obviously due to the fact that Zaniolo broke both his ACLs in the past months, in the past years, and Zaniolo is a very physical player. You can see that Zaniolo's muscles are literally this big. The doctors found out that a big reason for why Zaniolo broke both ACLs was because his muscles weren't balancing Zaniolo's body really well. And that might sound like the most bullshit thing you've ever heard from someone. I can assure you that is the reason many journalists and many sport experts talked about Zaniolo not being 100% fit. And therefore, the doctors told Zaniolo to build those muscles even more, and Zaniolo's muscles had to go through an extreme preparation, because that meant that Zaniolo is now not constantly tormented by injuries. And obviously Zaniolo, unlike other players, is the player which, according to many journalists and doctors, what can I say? He's building his muscles more than everyone else, and that obviously makes him more tired. And I can assure you, this might sound like the most shittiest thing ever. I can assure you, it did sound it like me, but after you think about it, it is true. You can see Zaniolo's muscles are literally this big, so that's a big reason of why Zaniolo is not 100% fit. It'll be curious to see how he performs against Lazio, because if you missed the last live streams, I did say that Zaniolo and Lazio fans have a good old bad rivalry, just them two. Because Lazio fans pick on Zaniolo's mum and sing a chant against Zaniolo's mum. And I can assure you that if Zaniolo scores in the derby on Sunday, mayhem. Well, the Stadio Olimpico will turn in absolute mayhem. Plus the fact that it's Lazio Roma and not Roma Lazio, and here in Italy, both Lazio and Roma play in the same stadium, it means that Lazio fans there will be more Lazio fans in this. This match is being played at the Olimpico, but it's an away day for Roma, so we have to expect more Lazio fans. If Zaniolo scores, I can assure you that mayhem will happen. But let's talk about this match, because we got the 3 points. But I say this every time. It is not possible for us to live every single match having palpitations. I mean, I genuinely think Roma will make us die of a heart attack. I genuinely think that. Because the problem is that when Udinese, Sassuolo, Verona attacked, every single time they got closer to Rui Patricio, it gave me the impression they were going to score. Yesterday, Roma did not concede, and they were kind of lucky about that, because the last-minute handball from a Roma player, I can't remember who it was, I think it was, who was it? Mancini, possibly? Can't really remember. Is something which that referee didn't give as a penalty. But I can assure you that if that happens in a next match, the referee would have probably given that as a penalty. It was not a clear penalty, but, VAR could have easily intervened in that. I think Roma were lucky yesterday. Extremely lucky. Because Udinese, Verona, and Sassuolo, in my entire lifetime, I've never seen them play like this in my entire life. So congrats to them. Congrats to Udinese yesterday. They were playing really, really well. The second half was a siege from Udinese. Roma dominated the first half. But the second half, it was a siege from Udinese against Roma. And that's a problem, not because it was a siege, but if it was a more experienced club like AC Milan or Napoli yesterday in the second half, they could have easily scored 3 or more goals just in these 45 minutes. So I think AS Roma's defense is not well balanced, because Karsdorp and Calafiori are too attackive. They are too offensive, They just sprint too much down that line. that when it comes to an Udinese or an opposition counter-attack, they are tired when it comes to running back and defend. And at the end of the day, they are defenders. And that means that, Mancini, Ibanez and Smalling are left by themselves to take responsibility for the entire situation. And sometimes Veretout as well. That is the problem for me. This club, this defense is not well balanced. Meaning that they don't move together, Ibanez and Mancini do. They move together. But the entire defensive line should move together. Karsdorp can't sprint and, Calafiori is halfway through the pitch. Mancini remains back and Ibanez goes and headed in for the corner kick. There has to be a minimum balance when it comes to defense. Because otherwise, and this is what's happening, in every single counter-attack from the opposition team, we are dying of heart attacks. Because it will give us the impression that they are going to score. So, why do we play so? Other big teams play very well and quick. That's true, man. I think there are some occasions where Roma try doing quick passes, quick triangulations. But I think it also depends on the entity of the match. Obviously, in the last minutes, Roma couldn't play like that because Pellegrini got a red card. But I totally understand that. This club needs to play quick football, quick movements, and quickly get inside the box and shoot. I agree with that, Amirba. They need to be much more, proactive, quick. Who should I give the ball to? Heads up. It's not like, I get the ball, I wait half an hour, I drink a cup of tea, I have a bloody fiesta, and then I pass the ball. It's Veretout to Cristante to Mkhitaryan into the box, and Abraham scores. Now, I agree with that, mate. I really feel sad for him. I prefer Prime Zaniolo than winning the Scudetto. Wow, that is a big statement, Ahmed Ben Ammar. Zaniolo must not be in the starting 11. He's not doing nothing at all. But once again, I think we need to give Zaniolo time because every single player, and even Lionel Messi wouldn't be this good if he broke 2 ACLs. Give him time. And I'm going to ask this to you guys. Give Zaniolo 1/2 more months and then we can start criticizing him. Okay? So we talked about the defense not being well balanced. I think big shout out needs to go to Calafiori because everyone's going Abraham scored, incredible movement from Abraham when he scored to score, but 98% of that goal came from this young lad. And Mourinho in the press conference for this match said Calafiori needs to grow, he's not experienced. Calafiori just turned on that and went, okay, I'm gonna surprise Mourinho in this match, and he did. Because he looked like bloody prime Roberto Carlos. Okay? He sprinted. His physique, his dribbles into the box. And Abraham scored. Now, re-looking at that, I actually didn't figure it out. I thought it was an easy tap-in. But Abraham randomly did a Pokemon, Karate Kid move to put that in. That was risky. Because if that was out, if that would have been a missed chance, then this match would have been 0-0. Because Roma did not have any attempts in the second half. Another thing I want to mention is Mkhitaryan. Because Mkhitaryan is not on a great form at all. Mkhitaryan with Fonseca scored a lot. And Mkhitaryan is not fit. He had some problems and I agree with that. I understand that. He was not good at all. He is not good. He needs to improve. Because if Zaniolo and Mkhitaryan don't turn up to matches, it can be a lot. It can mean a lot, especially in the next match where Pellegrini is not playing. If Pellegrini is not playing the match against the Derby, Zaniolo's not fit, and Mkhitaryan is shit, then Roma have a non-existent forward 3 midfielders. That's why I think Roma need to invest in extra players as well. And some players which can cover the role of these 3 players. Because on Sunday, if Zaniolo keeps on with this bad, still trying to get 100% fit, if Mkhitaryan doesn't even try and shoot, and Pellegrini obviously will be missed for that match, the 3 attacking midfielders position is a non-existent position against Lazio. And yes, it can be argued that Lazio aren't that good lately. But it is still a derby. And it is Lazio Roma. The Olimpico will be full of Lazio fans. It can go either way. It's always a derby. Jose, a strong and fast defensive mid would help us in transitions and not be more dominant in midfielders. And to be, definitely, mate. I think that's Mourinho foreshadowed in his press conference the fact that he needs a defensive midfielder. Roma needs that. Because Roma cannot play with Verito and Cristante every single match. They will die of bloody asthma if they keep on playing. I expect them to play on Sunday because it's the biggest match of the season. But starting from Empoli, I do, and I want to see Diawara play. I want to see more of him. Darboy maybe, put him in. Also, let me remind you, it's a double live stream tonight. Me and Alex will give... I just poked my entire shin and... Ow, that was bad. Double live stream tonight. Tonight, me and Alex will say our predicted 11 for the big match on Sunday. So, yeah. I think it's a transition state. After the defeat, these clubs need a reaction. And I think to try and convince us all, I think a win on Sunday, being Lazio Roma, in front of Lazio fans, celebrating in front of bullshit Pedro, I think would regenerate the entire faith of each and every single Roma fan. Because up to now, we won yesterday's match, but it was not convincing. And if Roma play like this with Napoli, for example, who are top class right now, they are going to concede in quite a fair amount of goals. So I think Deulofeu caused a lot of problems yesterday. But I think this was my overall analysis. Before moving on to my player ratings, let's head over to Alex and let's see what he thinks.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to the Simon Show. As you can see, I am smiling, I am happy, I am excited. It is Alex once again. Please do not forget to hit that subscriber button. Wow, what a day. What a day. Well, this is my match reaction on the match between AS Roma and Udinese. Well, I'll get right to it. It was 3 points. It was a win. This takes us to 4th on the table. I am happy. I am excited. Why am I happy? I'm happy because we won. It was a good team performance. These are my biggest takeaways. Number one, it was a better improvement from the last game against Hellas Verona. Number two, Calafiori is building experience and momentum. Number three and number four is Tammy Abraham singing Roma, Roma, Roma. That was beautiful, the Roma anthem. The boy is feeling Italy. He's feeling Rome and he's feeling Roma. Number four, I am so happy because it looks like we have made the best sign-in the entire Serie A. And that is by signing Rui Patricio. He's not just a goalkeeper. He's a savior. He's a miracle wonder. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. I am glad we have him. I am proud of that sign-in. So therefore, Rui Patricio gives and gets a 10. It's a 10 over 10. The defense is still shaky, not good enough. I'm going to give the defense an 8 over 10 because at least they kept a clean sheet. Vertout, Cristante, they did all right. 8 over 10. They did okay. I would love to see more. Zaniolo. I think he sort of improved a little bit in the second half, but Zaniolo is selfish. He's trying too hard to want to prove something to the Roma fans. Now, Zaniolo, if you ever watch the Simon Show, hear this from me. We love you. We know what you can do. You don't have to prove anything to us. But we want you to not just be a dribbler. We don't want you to just be an average player. We want you to take your time to get into the grind. Take your beautiful time and be a maestro. There's no rush. There are no rushes. Ease into it. Do those little wonderful things that make great players. And that is taking the entire team along. Before you score goals, before you dribble, make sure you are a master, meaningful creator. Be the engine on the right-hand side. Be the engine that supplies Tammy Abraham. Be the engine that carries along Pellegrini and Mkhitaryan. Do not just be about Zaniolo. Nicolo, we love you, but I believe you can do better than what we are saying. Don't be selfish. You're not going to be a Messi. You're not going to be a Ronaldo. You're going to be a Nicolo Zaniolo. But it starts with the little simple things. Pellegrini, beautiful game, great game, leader. If we can appeal the red card according to Mourinho, please let's appeal that red card. But they could say, hey, they don't appeal second yellow cards because it was a second yellow card, and which led to a red card. But that was foul play right there by the Udinese player. It was not a red card. So now we have to figure out, how do we play against Lazio without you? Mkhitaryan, great to see you back. Fantastic game. 8/10. Nicolo, I'm sorry, I got to dink you a little bit and give you a 6/10. Tammy Abraham, just for singing Roma, 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 I put you at an 8. For scoring a goal, I put you at an 8.5/9. However, I could take up some points from that because I want to see more. I want to see you not just demand the ball, but I want to see you play like a Lukaku or better than a Lukaku. Hold up the ball. It's not just about you going to score. Okay, you scored your first goal in front of the Roma fans. Thank you. Good job. But now I need to see you be a complete number 9. Hold up that ball. Don't rush it. Hold it. You lost lots of dwells and chances. Try and create from midfield to come back to you. Spread your ball. Hold play. Don't just keep running. Don't be selfish. Don't be hungry alone. Be hungry with the team. I know you're a striker. You want to prove a point. Chill. We know where you are already. We love your aggression. We love the fact that you're already gelling into the team. You don't have to prove anything. So Abraham, until I see a better type of game from you, I'm going to leave you at an 8/10 after my deductions. El Shaarawy, I didn't see much. I can't really give you much, but you tried. We saw in Shomurodov, there was a beautiful chance, a header, you threw that away. You could do better, Shomurodov. Calafiori, we saw Calafiori out for Smalling. Good job. So there was Smalling, I could tell your legs are tired because there was a game or there was a ball you were chasing down. I could say, hey, boy, you don't have legs. If you played against Victor Osimhen, he's going to eat you for breakfast. So we have to do better. And I cannot wait for January to be here because we need real animalistic defenders who do not allow balls to leak. We can't wait for Vinia to be back. We can't wait for Spinazzola to be back. We need proper defense coverage. And the truth is, Roma ain't got no defense. We're as worse as Lazio. Lazio's the next game coming up. According to Simon, he calls them the Rats. but it's okay. We're going to slaughter them. We're going to eat them up. I can't wait for Sunday. But just for this game, great job. It was a win. We are fourth in the table. We can do better. We can achieve greatness. Slowly and steadily. It looks like we are good at home because we have the fans, the energy. We're strong at home. But I want to see us win away. The defense again, shit. Total shit. I'm not happy with the defense. Again, like I said during the live stream, it's going to take time. We need to give Mourinho time because he's building a bonded squad or a squad that is community oriented. It's going to take time. Let's give them time. But I know, I see purposefulness. I see something great happening. So great game, guys. Great game, everybody. Deja Roma, we did it again, like we always do. And I firmly believe we're going to do wonders again. You know what I do? Great job. I'll see you all soon. Hit that subscriber button. My predictions were wrong in terms of the scoreline. Once again, Simon, thank you for streaming this. Let's build that community. Let's get up to 5,000 subscribers. We just want to build a beautiful Roma community around the world. Ladies and gentlemen out there, one love. It's Alex again. Have a great one. See you all soon with my match prediction for Lazio. Cheers.
Can I just say that Alex is the most legendary human being the world has ever seen. His words about Zaniolo made me tear up. Now, let's read some comments before getting onto my player ratings. There was a long comment I missed. Pellegrini has a bit of fat problem. He doesn't pass the ball. I've never seen more selfish player in my life. I swear, against Sassuolo. Yeah, I agree with that. But there is a reason for that. And I think the reason under that is a positive reason. He's building that faith. And I think, he wants to score every goal. I mean, and that's a problem for players which get too much confidence. But I agree with that, mate. And then, what did I just do? Alex is a legend. And something Tracy said is, Mourinho, obviously, after that match, said to try and appeal the red card. I personally think that wasn't a red card. That was definitely a foul. Let's just take the foul and let's forget about the red card. I think Roma have chances of trying to appeal to that, but it won't be easy. Because as Alex said, it's a double yellow card. But, we don't success if we don't try. So my player ratings, I think, let's look at the lineup. Because Rui Patricio, in my opinion, Alex described him the best way possible. He is miraculous. So I have to give Rui Patricio a solid 8. It might seem as a lot, but he saved us once again. If it wasn't for that Portuguese man, Roma would have lost this match probably. Obviously, lost the match against Verona and probably lost the match against Sassuolo as well. Because 2 offsides don't happen every single day. Rui Patricio, 8 for me. Now, the 4 defenders, Karsdorp needs to improve by far. He is not good at defending and he does not attack the same way he attacked with Fonseca. So, I am giving a Karsdorp an average 6. And it has been a series of 6s for Karsdorp. If Karsdorp doesn't impress me against Lazio, I seriously would consider dropping his votes onto 5, his rates onto 4 or 5. Because Karsdorp is not great. He needs to improve, like many other Roma players. but he still needs to get that momentum back in his legs, because he's someone who gets the ball, speeds, and that's all he does for 90 minutes throughout the entire season. You know, if that doesn't work for Karsdorp, then nothing else will work. I'm going to Karsdorp a 6. Trust me, Mourinho will take Smalling or Mancini and play him on the right. That's interesting. Now, the two centre-backs are Ibanez and Mancini yesterday. Mancini fought with almost an open eye yesterday. He got surgery immediately after that match. But there's there's a good image of which Mourinho actually commentated on Instagram, saying bravo on a picture of Mancini with blood all over his face, fighting until the very end. And that's the spirit this club wants. I'm going to give Mancini saved us. You know, if it wasn't for Mancini and Rui Patricio, Roma would have conceded. Mancini has been, he intercepted some great balls yesterday. And I'm giving Mancini a 7. It's not that high, but he needs to still improve. And unless he doesn't improve, solid matches against Napoli, Lazio will be tremendous for our defenders. Ibanez, I'm giving an average 6. So, I think Ibanez and Mancini played well together. But if Ibanez isn't sure and his confidence doesn't boost when he plays next to Mancini, if I were Mourinho, I would start Smalling for Lazio, because, you know, the experience Smalling has, Ibanez does not have. So I'm giving Ibanez a 7, but to improve. Calafiori, in my opinion, gets a bloody 9. He might not be great in defense, but he's young. He is coming from the academy. The pressure, obviously, for these players to start these official Serie A matches. I'm telling you, Calafiori deserves a 9 for the sprint he did, for the assist he gave Abraham. It was insane. I told you, if Calafiori keeps on playing like this, start him on Sunday as well. Calafiori got a yellow card. I'm giving Calafiori a 9. And I don't care if anyone doesn't agree. Calafiori gets a 9 for me. Now, the two defensive midfielders, Cristante for me gets a 7. No, actually, gets an average 6. I don't want to give too much confidence. Yeah, I think Cristante was very slow. Cristante is one of those players which, in my opinion, you know, you give Cristante the ball and he spends half an hour thinking about what to do. You have to be quick. You have to speed up. I'm giving Cristante an average 6, and I'm giving Veretout a 7 for being a bit more aggressive. And linking to Veretout, he is, unlike Cristante, the player which, when AS Roma's defense is not balanced, he helps in defense. And that's a big factor, and it's a big role for responsibility for Veretout. I'm giving Veretout a 7. Now, the three attacking midfielders, Zaniolo obviously needs to improve, but I understand the criticisms up to now. I'm giving Zaniolo a 5 after yesterday's match. Not convincing, a bit selfish, as Alex said. And I'm giving Mkhitaryan a 5 as well. Mkhitaryan was atrocious in my opinion. He's been atrocious in these matches. He just needs to get back in that rhythm of scoring or shooting, having those attempts. He's not having this. And if Mkhitaryan doesn't do this, he's absolutely useless. And I'm giving Mkhitaryan the same rating as Zaniolo. I think they both need to improve quite a fair amount of, quite a lot. So both 5 for them. And Pellegrini, a 7 for me. It can easily be an 8 or a 9. But obviously, I understand it not being it didn't have to be a second yellow card. It wasn't a second yellow card. But still, it would 3 minutes until the end. You know you've got the most important season on Sunday. Don't do that. You know, I know that wasn't a yellow card, but just don't do that. You're an absolute cretin. You know, you've got Lazio on Sunday, mate. You've got Lazio. Lazio is the rivalry, needs to put that mindset ready immediately, because it is a derby. So I think it was stupid of Pellegrini, even though the referee was a bit too harsh. So, yeah, I think Pellegrini's rating varies from a 6 to 7, in my opinion. 7 obviously is the most, but I understand people who say 6 for Pellegrini. In fact, yeah, let's roll Pellegrini's 6. Let's not give too much confidence to these players. You know, they still need to improve. 6 for Pellegrini, 5 for Mkhitaryan, and 5 for Zaniolo. And Abraham, I'm giving Abraham a 7/8. Great goal, karate goal. I don't even know how physics allows that to be in. But Abraham has been great. You know, he needs to build that momentum. He unlocked the door of scoring, and now we expect a lot more goals. You know, I think Ayman said before, if AS Roma players improve use the good terminology, service. That was great, and I totally agree with that. Abraham needs service. And as Alex said, if Abraham becomes a Lukaku player who can keep the ball with his physique, I think Abraham can be one of the best strikers in this area. So I'm giving Abraham a 7/8 for the goal, for, you know, keeping the ball, some interesting tackles. And yeah, now, let's see the substitutions, because Elder Shomurodov played 4 minutes. I'm not giving him a rating. Smalling was good. He came in with a good mindset. He was aggressive, and he was another big factor of why Roma didn't concede yesterday. Smalling, top class. I would start Smalling on Sunday. So I'm giving Smalling a 7. Convincing 7. And El Shaarawy didn't do much. I'm just going to give him an average 6. Right, lads, this was me and Alex's match reaction and player ratings for Roma Udinese. It ended 1-0 to Roma. Tab Abraham on the score sheet. It's a double stream tonight. I will catch you tonight with Alex once again for our predicted 11 for Lazio. So, you know, now Udinese is gone. Now Lazio starts. From tonight, our predicted 11 for Lazio. Be there. And yeah, Pellegrini becoming a little too individual. Abraham sometimes is perfect position to get the ball. I agree with that. But it's a confidence he's building, especially now that he's performing really, really well. The fact that Pele will not play the derby is a good news, though. It's opportunity for Elder and El Shaarawy. I agree with that, but Pellegrini is the main. Yeah, he didn't need to get that red card. He needs to play for Lazio. Hopefully there will be an appeal, but who knows. Right, I'll catch you tonight for me and Alex's predicted 11 for Lazio. Yeah, I'll catch you soon. Take care. In the meantime,